And there was one guy who I always speak with every day. He went to also study out here. He was also, after every vacation, he has to also go and work and get something. So he was rather doing concrete. And then one day he got a mortal on his eye, and now he's blind, one of the eye. And then so I look at all these stories from some people's angle, and no matter how bitter your story might be, somebody's also one way or the other going through a lot of things. And we should be helpful whichever situation we find ourselves. I was in need of a lot of things, but I didn't consider myself only.
If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed to this channel, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Please subscribe to this channel, because we have mind-blowing testimonies. We've shot some amazing testimonies that we can't wait to just release it. We are releasing once a week. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to release 2 or 3 times in a week. So please click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell to get notified each and every time I release a new video. And also, if you're looking for a team, a media company to shoot your commercials, to shoot your weddings, to shoot your parties, or to give you some headshots for your flyers and everything, reach out to my team. That is DH Multimedia. On Instagram, you can DM us or you can give us a call, and we would take a very good care of you. Let's get into the testimony.
So my name is John Kobina, and I'm a student. I'm a PhD student at Ohio State University, studying electrical and electronics engineering. So I was born in Ghana, specifically in the western region of Ghana, in a nice town, a small town called Princess Town, which is not much known to a lot of people. But I must admit, it's a beautiful town ever in Ghana. Yes, so we feel.
For the viewers who don't know, I'm from Western Region, and no one has ever heard of Princess Town before, let alone being the most beautiful place in Ghana. Okay.
It's the most preserved area. One day I might talk about it. I might talk about it more. It's a nice place.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where I grew up. I had my elementary, basic school, everything over there. I was brought up by Madame Anna Amo. That's what everyone calls her. Or they used to call her Emwafu Akuma. That's her local name. So I was brought up by her and one sister of mine with her. So we both grew up with her. So like a brother and sister, we had a lot of things in common. A happy moment, a sad moment, and a whole lot of moments together. My mom was that straight because her purpose was to make sure you do the right thing. Like the main purpose of her is to bring us to our good stand, so that we will be somebody in future. So as a kid, we sought to be straight because it looks so strange. Sometimes as a guy, you will be in the kitchen while you see your colleagues on the field playing football, which you have the interest of going to play somebody, you have no option. You have to be in the kitchen.
Being in the kitchen is not really common.
Yeah, that is a level of straightness. You have to know how to cook. That's from her perspective. You really have to know how to cook as a guy. And it has helped me a lot. I know all kinds of food. I can cook all kinds of food. I love that. So sometimes with my sister, with her, we did a lot. So I kind of had some nice relationship with my mom. Then with my sister, we kind of have a lot of conflicts due to choices. So I sometimes want to claim to be the man in the house. So yeah, I have done this responsibility. She has to do that. So I fetch water. I said, hey, I finished fetching water. Do this, and all kinds of stuff. We fought sometime because, she was a lady and she was having some guy who used to visit her. Then I'll go and do all the information to my mom, and the beatings will arise, and I'll be laughing. So we have that kind of grudge day in, day out.
You are the worst brother to have. If you were my brother, I would beat you up all the time.
So and then my mom used to give me a lot of assignment to keep an eye.
Oh.
So it's like one of my responsibility as well to keep an eye on her.
On her.
And so yeah, I was doing my.
That's what it is.
I was really doing my job very well, and then so yeah. At the point when I was growing up, little by little, I felt sad whenever I see my sister being beaten as a result of me going to tell my mom something that I saw. So at the point, I decided not to provide any information. And her grandma never stopped. She took the job by herself. She started doing her own inspection because, I've been taking bribe somewhere. So
was she typically bribing you with money or at a gift?
Oh, the guy got closer to me. He knew I was the hindrance, so he got closer to me. Said, "Hey, guy, what do you want?" Then I stopped doing the assignment, so I was giving wrong answers. Yeah, but the grandma was really knew that no, I might have taken
Your mom, you mean?
My mom.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom she really knew that I've taken something somewhere. So she started doing her own research. So we grew up. So at a point in time, that my sister was forever young. I know she was grown up, but she looked that young.
Yeah.
Not that tall, those kind of people that young. So it turned out that guy that I was monitoring came and asked in hand of marriage. So she moved to the husband's place, and it was me and my mom now. So yeah, I lived with my mom throughout my junior high school, then through her, and then her discipline. The discipline is, she will always discipline you, and I love that. I really love that.
Did you love it when you were a kid?
No, you will not love it when you will not understand whatever they really want. It's a lesson, and I really encourage everyone to learn. It's like a teacher who is disciplining you every single day. You might not love it. You might take it as a hate or something. Yeah, but I got to know it was a good thing that she was very religious, and that the best thing I love from her is, it was so bad, but she would come and wake you up at, say, 12:01 and pray with you. Mm. Yeah, you might think, I never forgot those little things till now. It was very good. And one thing that I was not liking, so when we get to the dry season, we have to wake up around 3 a.m. to go and fetch water, because if you don't wake up early, you will not get water. Mm. And that was the most annoying part. You sleep, and at 3 a.m. you carry
3
water.
a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
3 a.m.
Yeah, 3 a.m. When it gets to the dry season, sometime it's very difficult to get water because everyone is fetching it. So we go as early as 3 a.m.
What were you guys fetching water at?
So as at that time when I was young, there was not that much of this pipe system. Now we have it. We have it there. So we have these walls, the boreholes.
Oh, okay.
And they get dry up. When we get to the dry season. So you just wake up as early as possible, then you go and fetch the litter that has been...
At the borehole?
Yeah, the borehole, the litter that has come out. So it used to come out little by little. So when it gets to by 6, you might not get water to bath. So we go as early as 3 a.m. Even that time, you go and meet a lot of people there. So it was...
When were you guys sleeping?
Yeah, so it was the most annoying. I didn't like dry season. It was the most annoying season ever, because you have to wake up early, go fetch water. And it's not like a bucket of water. You have to fill some tanks, for cooking, for washing, and all kinds of stuff. And then another most annoying part is the farming. We go to farm at a long distance, very long distance.
How long is the long distance?
So sometimes we go like 3-4 kilometers. Sometimes 5, and you walk.
Kilometers, so
yeah.
Now I'm Americanized, so
yeah,
I use miles.
I don't know. I'm using the Ghanaian kilometers. How do I?
So how many minutes walk?
Yeah, that would be fine. So like we walk around 40 to an hour walk to the farm. Sometimes 2 hours to the farm. So by the time you get to the farm, you're already tired. Then we walk for about 6-7 hours. Then we come back. So sometimes there are a lot of promises. Hey, when we go to the farm, we will cook. Wow. Then you're happy, then you join, then you go to the farm, and sometimes promise fail, we don't cook. Then you have to, yeah.
You don't cook at the farm.
So it's like a happy moment, especially when you've planted maize, and they're like, oh, when we go, we have a lot of maize, we will be enjoying more maize. Then you gather that enthusiasm and you go and you get disappointed and all kinds of stuff. It was nice, but I was a good farmer. I can do all kind of farming stuff. Because that was the only means we have. There was no job. There was nothing.
So your mom wasn't working. She was a farmer.
Yeah, and not that big farmer. I don't like that title when people say it, because it's, in America, when you say someone is a farmer, you understand who the person is. They really make money. I don't know how to call that. We just plan to get something to eat. That was it, not to make extra thing.
So is it fair to say that you guys, you grew up in a relatively poor...
Yeah. I didn't grow up in a rich family. It was poor, but grandma taught me, my mom taught me a lot of things that I never forgot. So we appreciated the little that we have. So even though we're coming from a very poor, it's a poor family, I might admit, but I know whatever situation that you are in, somebody's in the worse situation than yours. So she will make you understand that whichever situation that you are in, just enjoy the little things that you have, because somebody's in the worse situation than you. Yeah, at a point in time, my grandma, even when I was about to go to secondary school, she had nothing, so she sold her clothes. My mom sold her clothes, sold some valuable things that she has gathered throughout her age. Yeah, sold them just to get me to school. And then when I got there, I remember at a point in time, she was begging for money, and there was a lot of disappointment and a whole lot. So we weren't from a very, not from a rich background, but we really appreciate the little thing. So farming was the main source, and we plant cassava, and then the cassava would take so we plant also cassava, sometimes maize when it gets to the season. Then we fry gari. That's the main thing that we do. So I know how to fry gari. That's the business. So we would take like a month or two, get a good piece of land, plant a lot of cassava, then in a year, that becomes the gari frying season. So whilst we are putting the cassava and preparing the gari stuff, we replant. So by the time we get rid of all the cassava for the gari process, the one we planted have also grown for another cycle. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're doing, sometimes you have to carry the gari to the nearby fishing community and sell them. I was equally saying kerosene at that time, I used to, sometimes we sell the cassavas for fufu and other stuff. So I used to send them to the market and all kinds of stuff, just to make...
I can't imagine your childhood. So, okay, say it's a dry season. Mm-hmm. Dry season, you wake up around 3 a.m.
Yeah.
You go fetch water. Mm-hmm. And then, do you go, usually during the weekday, do you also have to go to the farm before school or after school?
Yeah, so sometimes we go as early as possible. You go I've gone to the farm sometimes we go and uproot cassava and come we go so early. We have some farm which is very close, about, say, 30-minute walk. So we'll go 5 or 4:30 a.m. We walk by 5 here in the farm. We uproot the cassava, then you come back, you bath, and you go to school.
Man.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you have to sacrifice school.
Sometimes you don't have to go.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice school because school might be demanding printing fees, school fees, and other stuff. So at a point in time, I had some scholarship when I was in classes to JHS. Yeah, I won some scholarship from Germany. Then
hold on. So with all the struggles, how were you able to even study to even get a scholarship? Because getting scholarships in Ghana is not a thing.
Grandma was a madam then. So
your mom was
my mom. Okay. Yeah, that is a title. I keep on saying grandma because it's a title that we give her now. Yeah, my mom was a teacher then. She was a madam. She had taught a lot of great people. Sometimes some of them come to our hometown and they're like, hey, this madam, taught me. Yeah. So she knew how education is valuable. So some of my friends that I know, in quotes, might be rich, of course, something like that. They didn't even have my first copy book, but I do have it. My grandma bought them. She knew what was in education. And amidst all your responsibilities, you have to study. And she was on my neck for that.
So how was your studying? Were you a fairly average student, bad student, or a good student?
So you can be third in the house.
You cannot be third in the house.
Yeah, it's like first, second. That should be, the worst should be second.
The worst has to be second.
Yeah, that is her policy. So from class 1, class 2, class 3, first, second. You sometimes get some competition. There was some good friends of mine who were trying to let me get some beatings back home. So they pushed me to third.
They wanted you to get some beatings.
Yeah, so they put me to third. One guy from Takrade, he came fresh, then he came with a new sort of energy. Then put me to third. I received some beatings. Then it became
for being third.
Yeah, that's why I said she was so disciplined. And I love that now because I got to know it was for my own good.
You don't know, you have no idea the magnitude of what you just said. Like, you going to fetch water at 3 a.m., you going to the farm at around 5 a.m., doing all that labor. America, they would be like, no, this is child labor. And by that time, from 3 a.m., even if I'm older, like waking up at 3 a.m., by the time it's like 8, 9, I'm already tired. Yeah. And you have to go to school, study. Yeah. It's not like you just woke up and you are just lying down watching TV. You were doing hard labor, like fetching water, working like a whole hour, or at times 2, coming back, working over there, coming back, and then to be first in the class, that's insane.
Yeah, when I was in my lowest primary, like primary 1, 2, 3, all the way. So I was even ahead of the class because she has taught those classes before. So she was a teacher home. So she get crazy, something that she has taught you home and more than what you met in exams and you attended. Who told you that? That was her policy. Yeah, she spent time to teach me a lot of things in the lower primary.
But besides her teaching you, would you also say that you were, I think you're smart because you can teach a kid. It's, we all went to school. Yeah. Many times for some of us, we took forever to learn. For me, I had a tutor at home that would teach me stuff and I still wasn't getting it. So with all that you're going through, I wouldn't say you were smart. You're a genius.
Yeah. It's a gift from the family. I have one brother too, who is also doing a PhD at Washington State University. We had one uncle who also had scholarship, studied outside. It's like a family thing.
So you had a scholarship when you were going to junior high?
Yeah, junior high, scholarship from Germany.
And then high school?
High school, the scholarship got canceled due to governmental staff, and then so high school was funded by grandma and some other uncles. That I might talk about.
And even currently, you still have a scholarship?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah. And same to my brother in Washington, Joel, also scholarship throughout something like that. So I might say about some percentage of the family, that's a gift. Not financially, but academically, it's a gift. And I think it's a future family. That's what I can say. Yeah, because we have a lot of us now studying overseas and then some are into that. So it's something that I can say. Oh, so you hear a story from grandma, your great-great-grand was so brilliant, he did that, yeah.
So it's in the genes.
Yeah. But Anne and Joel might be the first generation PhD. They just the maximum ended up in masters or something.
They must be really proud of you.
Yeah. So, yeah, my mom actually helped me in my lower in the JHS too. So yeah, as I said, my academic first, second, third, all that way, all to the secondary school too. Yeah, where I met different kinds of people with different background. Yeah, people who have been to better schools, of course, and then it was a lot of competition. But I was fitting in. I didn't joke with my first, second, third there too. Yeah.
You were getting there.
Yeah. So did I get first in secondary school? It was tough. There was some two guys. I had one. So if it is 6 semesters, but I had only one first, but the rest was second, third. And then my worst was 14th position because I didn't write 3 exams. Yeah.
You didn't write 3
exams, and it was 14th out of a class of 47.
What happened? You didn't...
So there was something happened in school. What was that? It wasn't sick, I remember. It wasn't sick. But I had to go home. Yeah, I had to go home. Maybe death of a beloved person or something. I'll just remember along the line. But I had to go home. Mm-hmm. So I quitted. I decided not to write the exams. 3 of them, and I went home. Yeah, so the 3, without the 3, I was 14th. You can imagine. Wow. Yeah, I really did well for the rest. But I couldn't continue writing exams when I had that news. So I had to go home and leave the other 3. Yeah.
Let's backtrack a little bit. Mm-hmm. I know you keep saying grandma. What's the whole story about you calling your mom
grandma? Yeah, so everyone been saying grandma because that has been the name. So all of us call him. All of us call her grandma now. So when I was another thing that I didn't say, right from primary, I have this leadership skill. So I was school prefect in the primary, JHS2 school prefect. Then in the secondary school, I was school prefect as well. And in the university, I wanted to be SRC president, but the course was tedious. So I had some positions, a lot of them. So I have that leadership skills along the line. Yeah, so when I was in secondary school, so first year, second year, and the third year being the school prefect, and I've been hearing some rumor all day long that the person I perceived to be my sister is my mom. I wasn't believing it. It was rumor back to back. So people were kind of worried when we sometimes fought over duty. People were like, you fighting with your mother? I said, who is my mother? She's my sister. So when I completed secondary school, the husband died. Oh. Yeah, so I was school prefect then. I'm already completing. So my colleagues came around. And then people were saying, oh, you came for your dad's food. I was like, no, that is my, Ghana, we call it akonta. That is it's not my dad, it's my sister's husband. And that man, I never took him as dad. And then he was not worried anyway. So the sister thing was going on. Your sister is your mom. Your sister is mom. People were saying that. So I asked my grandma, no, there is some rumor. You have to make things clear to me. My mom actually said, I told her, my sister, people are saying she's my mom. What do you think? And he said, yeah, I'm your grandmom, and your so-called sister is your mom. I was like, why? I was so disturbed. I remember the kind of fight and the kind of shared responsibilities, and then, I did. So up to now, we don't have mother-son relationship. We don't have it. It's a brother and sister. And we had some terrible things. So sometimes for looking at going to tell my grandma now, information about her and all kinds of things was so bad. So I went to her and I asked her after the funeral of the husband, and he said yes, but it wasn't something that I needed to know because we've already established the brother-sister relationship, and then she felt it was okay. So I asked my grandma then, who used to be my mom, I asked her then, what happened that she also overlooked all this kind of relationship that, and she was like, yeah, your mom was with me. I wanted her to go higher. You know how I love education. I wanted her to go higher and higher. So when I sent her to vocational school, that secondary school, she brought you as a certificate. So
That's a weird way of putting something.
So she brought you as a certificate. She never completed the courses. So I got mad at her.
That's a mean way of saying it. What?
That she never completed the school and she brought you as a certificate. So I got mad at her. And then, because I have to raise both of you now in my house, she wasn't somebody who was independent. And upon raising both of you, you two decided to take her as your sister, and I just overlooked it because she wasn't independent to be a mother then. She was mature. She might be in her early 20s. Yeah. She was that little, forever young, as I said earlier. It looks young. I was like, oh, well, I was so down. I was like, oh. Yeah, man, so she was, when she married her husband, she had additional 5 kids. They were all calling me uncle.
Oh, so everybody.
Yeah, my siblings were calling me uncle.
Knew, but you were the only person in the dark.
No, they didn't know. My siblings were calling me uncle. They also knew I'm their uncle. I'm the sister. I'm a brother to their mom. So they were calling me uncle.
Oh, okay.
So my siblings were calling me uncle.
Okay, it makes sense.
So when I knew that, I just called them and told them, hey, I might be too much older than them, but I'm not their uncle. They can call me. I'm a brother to them.
Yeah, that's
a. It's a bigger secret that, So after my grandma telling me this, I went to my mom and asked her more because I've heard another rumor. One day I was going to farm when I returned from the secondary school, and then some man called me. I've known the man, but we have not spoken before. He was like, when you give birth to your firstborn, name him or her after me. I was like, why? And he said, go and ask your mother, when you go, mention my name. So I went to my mom and was like, do you know this man? Yeah, that's what he has told me. He said, when I give birth to my firstborn, I should name him or her after him. What's the secret? So my mom started crying. She never spoke. Then I went to the man secretly and personally because I know grandma won't tell me. Then the man said, so when your mom was pregnant, your grandmother was so hard on her. So she wanted to abort you. She got the medicine, everything down. Oh my. So the man said he spotted it earlier. So he went and hid the drug and replaced with different one.
What?
So the man was that smart. And then my mom was not having much knowledge about whatever she's doing. She got the influence from friends that you can take it off and you'll be free. You can continue your school, whatever it is. So, yeah, to her, she was taking the medicine, waiting for action. Nothing was happening. The stomach was pulling up, and here I am. So the man told me all the story, and I went back to her. I understand why you wept, but it's fine. Let's God's plan that I might come. And the man told me everything that grandma was hard. As I told you, grandma was hard. She always wants the right thing. Like she has planned something for you. She knew how the family was, and she had all the heart to change the story of the family in her capacity. Though she wasn't having much, but she was willing to even sell all her clothes to make sure you go further to just change the story. So she was mad. I understand her too, upset. So the treatment was kind of high for her. She was receiving beatings from grandma.
Even when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, Africa, they don't care.
Yeah, so the alternative was to go and abort this John. Yeah, that was that. So the laughing itself, that alone prevented her from telling me that I'm a son. So she never said it herself. Yeah, that alone was kind of a workload on her to open the mouth and then tell me. So it was very difficult for her to tell me at that point, knowing her intention about me, growing up with her, seeing me every day. It was a very tough thing for me. And then the man to never let grandma know my mom's intention.
So it was between only the man
and mom, yeah. So I think the mom went back and spoke with her to keep the baby, no matter how the situation is. Spoke with her and then encouraged her, and she kept the baby. No, grandma saw the pregnancy. She didn't want to abort. She was mad. She brought that certificate. But
you keep calling yourself certificate. Johnny, you were just crazy.
The man did well. He really spoke with my mom, encouraged her to keep the baby. Yeah. So for the side of my grandma, she just got mad because I understand my grandma very well because it's good to sometimes change the story of the. So yeah, she was having one principle. So if we are all eating Gary today, in the future, she doesn't want you to be eating it. You should have some life. Yeah, so she was kind of mad because she didn't love the certificate that my mom brought. Yeah.
John, stop calling yourself certificate.
It was a terrible certificate. Yeah, so on the side of my mom, it's kind of hard to.
But how did you feel when you heard that?
I already have had some rumors, but I know she wasn't my mom. It was some
in terms of she nearly aborted you.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. You see, so it has become a policy of me hating abortion. So I talk to young girls when they are in that situation. It has been something that I've been doing. I had a friend way back in the university who, say, mistakenly impregnated someone. He also had the dad to be so harsh. And the girl is the dad's friend's daughter. And that man thought they had friendship and so on. Then the next thing was to do abortion. And when they went for the scan, it was twins. So I told my friend, I will bear that pregnancy. I will take the pregnancy. Though I wasn't the one, I will stand in for him. So we'll go to the girlfriend's father's place and then present myself to be responsible for the pregnancy for these two kids to be born.
Hold on. So your friend got someone pregnant.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to abort a baby. So they did a scan and realized that they were twins.
Yeah.
And you told the guy that, don't worry, I got this. I'm going to act as the dad to your kid.
I hated abortion from there. Because no one knows what the case may become someday. So I never encourage anyone to do abortion. I and my brother Joel. Joel too faced the same situation because...
Is Joel your biological...
So his mom is the eldest of my mom. So...
Oh, okay. So you guys are more like cousins.
Yeah, cousins, but we don't separate. We call her, we are brother and sister. So for her too, so both of them were going to the same secondary school, both of them, and they brought that certificate. I don't blame them because they were facing that restriction from.
Oh, so what happens when you it's like when you cage a dog for a very long time and you open the cage that.
Yes, so when they had the opportunity to be alone for some time, they They really tasted the fruit. Yeah.
They became wild.
Yeah, they tasted the fruit.
So both sisters got pregnant.
Yeah, for Joel's mom, she drank the medicine, so she was bleeding. Joel is lucky. Joel was more lucky. So someone popped up on the mom, then rushed her to the hospital. And they were like, hey, Joel, I think so I said, God has, so both I and Joel has this policy. We never loved abortion. So it has been like something. Whenever we hear somebody doing abortion in any way, we just find a way of trying to help out because we never know who. Now, we tell them our story, where we are now, because we faced the same situation, and we use another person's story, their running mate for John Mahama last time, also had the same thing. She also got her firstborn during secondary school, and she never aborted it. She had a supporting family to take the baby, and she continued the school, became a professor, became a VC at UCC, University of Cape Coast, and became a running mate for presidential position. So we use that to encourage people. Let I know this come in place to hinder your education, whatever, but give birth to the baby. No one knows. And now, my mom feels so shy of me. So no matter what she's doing, whatever I say, she stops. She listens to me more than everyone. Same to Joel's mom. So we just encourage people. We don't like to see that. No one knows. It might be a mistake when it comes to abortion, Unless the baby is opposing your health, that might lead you to death, or it is an incest, or whatever that the government permits to be aborted. Yeah, that's fine. But if it is for a circumstance of it was a mistake, I'm not ready, I'm opposing some pressure from the family, we do encourage people that, hey, no matter what, we go at the extra mile of bearing the baby for ourselves.
Oh, yeah. So your friend,
yeah.
Did you...
So I told him that, I'll speak to my uncle. My uncle understands my situation. Uncle James was very good. So I told him I'll speak to my uncle about this. He had that heart, and he understands our story. So he will step in and he will go with me to the girl's father's house, and we will talk everything out for the baby to be born. When they give birth to the baby, then we expose the guy. Because he has that mindset of aborting the baby. He finally aborted him. He wants my back, and upon all the plans, I spoke with my uncle. He aborted him, and I find it difficult talking to him now because of that. But he's still human. He texts me sometimes. I respond, and I remind him of that every single day. I just remind him of that every single day, that guys, though it's so painful, but that two babies, you don't know what they're going to be. And who knows if that girl, that's the only baby she's going to bring to the world. And I asked, is the girl still your girlfriend? And he says, no. I was like, come on. It's the worst thing ever. So I hated it anyway. Not if it is legal that need to be aborted, fine. Especially if it's posing your health condition, it need to death. You can do that, but if it's with the condition that I said earlier, because of financial constraint, because of family opposing or something, we encourage them, and we are willing to do everything we can to have their babies. That was our story. So
what's the age gap between you and Joel?
He's a year older than me.
Man.
So let's say, is it a year? It's approximately a year. Some months, but it's a year, don't put it that way.
But I imagine what your grandma was going through with two of her kids.
So it's her mistake, I might admit anyway, because the restriction was kind of
too much.
She wanted a good thing for them, but ladies too, when they get to their teenage, she didn't consider that end aspect too. Yeah. She never considered the aspect that one day they will get some freedom to be in the secondary school, and there is some peer pressure there too. she should have gone a different way by exposing them to those things positively.
Yeah. Sex education.
Yeah, positively, and then that might help them a lot than restricting them on that condition. They had freedom. They had friends in the community who were talking about those things. No, they wanted to taste the fruit. Yeah, they tasted it. It was so terrible. They brought.
John is a comedian.
They brought the certificate. No. Yeah, I'm a secondary school guy. School guy certificate. So yeah, I don't feel shy saying it because it's God's purpose.
Yeah.
And I've never blamed my mom. I've never blamed my grandmom. It's God's purpose,
You have a good heart.
That is how I see it. They never did something wrong. That's what I see. None of them. Both my grandmom's side, my mom's side. It's like being in a situation where you don't know what to do. It's like they were in different hemispheres and trying to find their way out. Yeah. So it is God that intervened, and I never blamed. It's like everyone has been in several situations where you think of the worst condition, and that's what happened. My grandma, I might say, tracing their old generation, she met the old generation, they've been rich before. And what happened, for some reason, they lost that along the line. And then poverty reigned in. So we coming out the next generation, she has been in that generation where they have lived some rich lifestyle before, but something just brought in. So what happened is that the pillars in the family, the people who had the money making the family so strong, died honestly. They never knew what happened, and they lost all of them. So when you go to our family, we have, where we will sleep is not a big deal. We had a good building. Those people built them. The built, you can see, so when they show you this is the building, the person that was named after built, you can say, oh, this man might be a rich guy. So they had this lifestyle earlier, but they lost those people so quick, and then what happened is that poverty broke in. So we coming as the next generation was her target to just install whatever that he knew, the kind of life to be in a rich. So she was doing everything. That was her problem. The poverty itself, and she trying to break the chain and all that stuff. Because of this terrifying thing, she stopped teaching. Like, she also lost interest in a whole lot of things. The husband died, and she decided not to marry again. The husband died so early.
Oh.
She was young then, but she decided not to. And so that is her side. I understand her, trying to make sure whatever small family you have now, build the whole thing all over. Yeah, so she had them, and you can imagine. And my mom's too, like I said, no, they were changed by her due to her situation, trying to build that. It's like you trying to work something out to be better. You step on someone's toe. So they were kind of conserved so high that the little freedom that they had, but when it came to me, she learned a lot of lessons that for me, mine was different. Though she was doing this check-in every single night, she would come and check my room. So one day...
Checking your room as in if you are still sleeping in there?
Check if I'm the only one sleeping. So one friend of mine, he was called Paul, we used to study together. So one day, he came to sleep at my place, and she wore the lady's shoe. And then she just put it on my door, and grandma was like, she didn't bother to check the person, drew caning us, and then we woke up and he looked at our face. Oh, Oscar. So she was doing that, but along the line she was a little bit flexible when it came to that confinement relation. I had my own sex education along the line, not from her, but she provided the avenue to know much about those things, telling me I was good by myself due to what I also saw. I advise myself more than anyone advised me. So when I was in the secondary school, she preferred me going to boys' school. That was grandma. So my boys' school decision was from her. She didn't want to go again. John is in the mid school and messing up. So I went to boys' school.
Were you even allowed to speak to girls?
It's another story. Grandma was that type. Yeah.
You can't even talk to girls.
I was talking to girls in school, but I guess I wasn't talking to them in grandma. They can't come to my house. That is it.
But if she sees you at school, like talking to a girl, playing with a girl, she's cool.
Yeah, so I remember one situation when I was talking to a girl, she came to me there. She didn't say anything. She called the girl, "Be careful. When you get pregnant, the heart not." So I asked the girl later and said, "Yo, I don't know what your grandma thinks, but she warned me." I was like, "This woman is saying I'm that bad. I'm not bad." Yeah, she was. I didn't have girls relationship. Yeah, I don't know how to say it, but she didn't make that lovely. It was like a taboo to have plenty girls surrounding you. That my male friends can come, my guys can come to the house. You will cook for them. You will call them herself. So all my place were full of guys and others. So if you're a lady, it's strange to be there. Yeah, you answer a lot of questions you would not like to answer.
So let's move on to some of the struggles that you went through at school.
Yeah.
At school.
Yeah.
So what were some of the struggles in high school and in college?
Okay. So for my basic school in JHS, what happened is that because of that scholarship, they provided me with everything. They bought everything. So for primary 6 all the way to JHS 3, everything, the German scholarship were providing that. But when I went to the secondary school, it wasn't easy, okay? So grandma taught me something, that be content with whatever that you have. So the major thing that I love most is my curry, and since we produce curry ourselves, I go with bags of curry.
Yay.
And then I have that a lot. And so you get your curry, you get your sugar. Don't care about needle. Who cares about that? It wasn't part of my. Yeah, I get your curry.
Not even milk powder. Those who are not Ghanaians, needle is milk powder.
Oh,
milk.
Yeah. So sometimes you'll be like, let me give you some 5. You can manage it. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 sachets. Like, yeah.
5 sachets.
Yeah, you manage it. So all you need is your gari, and the gari will produce it.
Guys, so if you're not from Ghana or if you're not African and watching, like gari is made of starch, from cassava. And then the needle that he's talking about, the powdered milk, it's the sachet is like, it's a rectangular shape, right? It's probably like this big, and you don't have, it's like 2 spoons.
Yeah, 2 spoons, over 2 spoons. It doesn't contain much.
And only 5 sachets, so you have 10 spoons of powdered milk.
Yeah. So you have, we had one auntie at Takrade. She was selling most of this powdered milk, Milo, the cocoa produce and other stuff. So you say, so when you get time, go to her and talk to her. She'll give you. So I go to that woman. So her dad was the person I was named after. So I go there and he'll be like, "Hey, daddy, take Milo, sugar, and other stuff." So I just added to my gari. And when I went to secondary school, I saw a lot. There were some guys who were also having difficult situations than what I was going through. They don't even have the gari at all. Wow. Yeah, to the extent that some people were relying on me. I was like, "Hey, you relying on me?"
People are relying on you?
So I was sponsoring about 7 people, Gary. I was sponsoring people. They were going through a lot more than I was doing. Yeah, and then I remember my grandma sent me to school, and I didn't have anything like visitation. So PTA, people's parents represent me.
So just to give
Yeah.
like an idea to those people watching or listening.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm Ghanaian, so we understand. For high school, it's boarding school.
It's a boarding school. I was in the boarding.
So you'll be in boarding school for a whole semester, and nobody. So with say your one bag of gari and your sugar and 5 sachets of powdered milk, and nobody will come visit you.
Yeah, you have to eat from the dining. What you get from the dining, what the high school provides.
The dining hall food is nasty.
So I was so good. I don't want to praise myself, but I had some tactical things. So you have to make sure you find a way out in some situation. I had friends from the pantry. I made a friend there, and what happened from there?
What happened?
So when you make friends from those who cook the food, it comes with a lot of opportunity. So I made friends with those people. Then I had friends from the kitchen, so now I have a lot of food. People are relying on me more. So what happened is that, I'll go for my dining, which is not enough, not satisfying, but I also get some connection somewhere. John, it's ready. Then a lot of food and squad will come with my friends. I was sponsoring. So that's another way that I went through stuff. I just went my way out to because I knew what was happening. So, I was in
that shows that you're a very kind person and a good heart. Because you not seeing that, I'm black and I don't have enough. Mm-hmm. And still sharing the little that you have.
Yeah.
Because I was my parents were relatively well-to-do. They would bring stuff. I loved Gary when I was in school, so I had a lot of Gary. And people would try to, were you ever bullied for having Gary? Like people making fun of you for eating Gary all the time?
Oh, so, I don't know. It's a lucky thing. Where I want, it was like a culture. But when you go to some cubicle, some other room where you have this, we call it DB, those rich guys. No, they don't. They were eating cornflakes. We call it cornflakes and all kinds of. They don't talk about Gary stuff. But where I was, they really loved it. Yeah, so they needed it more than I do.
Man.
So what happened, how I got connection with the kitchen staff was the mom was carrying a lot of stuff and a lot of students were sitting there watching. I was afar. Then I quickly rushed and met the woman and took some of her stuff, then helped her out. And he said, you know what, you don't know me, but I'm in charge of the kitchen. I said, that's where my stomach lies. And he said, from today, you enjoy the blessing of the kitchen. And then...
And it goes to show, like, what Jesus said in the Bible. Mm-hmm. If you welcome people, you may eventually welcome angels into... People have welcomed angels into their homes without knowing. And you were just doing it out of the kindness of your heart, and you met your blessing. So
I can't stop it. That's one thing that I've been. I can't stop. It's something that is in me. One thing that I realized was, though I wasn't in a good condition, things was not so well for me, but people needed things more than I do. I was content with whatever that I having, but people needed. One day, there was one guy, we used to tease him. We were saying, he doesn't bath. He doesn't bath. We were teasing him. The guy really baths, but what he does is, after everyone has bathed, he goes and picks the broken soaps.
Oh my God.
On the floor and squeeze it, then use it. So I monitored him. I monitored that guy because we were teasing him. And whenever we are teasing him, he defends he bath. And we're like, what time do you bath? Because no one sees you. So I monitored him. So when we all go for preps to study, then he squeezed and came. And then I monitored and I saw him picking on the floor. And I spoke with him a lot. And you got to know, you might be in a situation, but someone is going through worse. And he doesn't even come with guy. All he needs is his fees being paid. So I have Gary, I have sugar.
He doesn't even come with garbage.
Yeah, I have Gary, I have sugar. But his main thing is to come and rely on the dining. So he doesn't miss. He has to make sure 24/7. So he became my best friend. I linked him to the kitchen. I told the mom, hey, we are two now. And he was happy.
Wow.
And he did his master's in China.
Oh, wow.
And now works with, he was working with a manager, is it Apple or something? I don't know. He was holding some position in one of the tech companies, either Samsung, Apple. I'll just confirm. It's been a long time I spoke with him. And whenever we talk, we smile and we go back to those memories, and it's loving.
You have no idea the magnitude of what you were just telling me. Like, I thought yours was worse.
Oh, yeah, I met someone who was also. Yeah, I'll talk about the universities too, with people I meet. I know God, linked me to these people to know that, hey, whatever situation you're into, some people are into similar situation or sometimes worse than what you are in. Yeah. And these people, I'm happy God never leave them while they are. Most of them are doing well, doing very well. Like the guy that I talked who studied in China, and they are doing well. So through all this hardship, whenever I go through, one thing I've felt, whenever I go through some hard times and other things, I end up, so upon all this struggling and others, I end up being the school prefect. And because I lowered down when I I was with that guy, they know the situation that, they voted for me. They knew, apart from the academic excellence, they didn't look at that. They really looked at who John really is, where he's coming from. And then that time our school was having more than 3,000 students. More than 3,000 students. And
I want the non-Ghanaians to understand who a school prefect is.
Yeah.
So could you explain?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know how to say. So student representative, because there's SRC. So we have the staff and the student body. So the student representative, that's the SRC, represent the student and the staff. So you serve as a link where you link the student and the staff. So whatever information the staff want the student to know, it's through you. Mm-hmm. And whatever petition the student want the staff to do for them, it's through you. Mm-hmm. So you are treated special.
Yeah.
You have that special treatment, like a president for the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the school was to be a country, you would be the president.
Definitely.
Say not president in charge of the teachers, but in charge of the entire students. And that comes with a lot of responsibility, and it comes with a lot of power too. Yeah. Because a school prefect can actually punish his own mates.
I had a lot of power. I made the school disciplinary sacked some students.
Wow.
Yeah, but I made them, they brought them back. When my conscience wasn't speaking right. I have this disciplinary staff. So the staff trusted me, especially the headmaster then. The headmaster, then his brother is the current Speaker of Parliament now. So I had some one-on-one with the Speaker of Parliament some time ago. So I'm that disciplined, and then I really want things to be done right so that you won't put me into trouble.
And you got that from your grandma.
Yeah, and there's some students, it was a boys' school, and they are so wild and they can go beyond. And sometimes I really want to show my power, And whatever I say is final. That power, I love it from the school. So whatever I say, I seized phone. When I see using for it's illegal, I can seize phone. I'm the only one allowed to use phone and laptop. Mm. Yeah, so I can seize phone. So some of them misbehaved in some different way, and then I made them sack them. I made some deboardized. And for some while, then I went back to the headmaster and said, my actions is making some people lose their career. Can you bring them back? And he said, okay, if you want that. Then they brought them back. So they warned me, the student, when I completed my office. Now, what happens is that you complete your office before you graduate from school.
Yeah.
So when you graduate, you become equal with the final years now.
Yeah.
So now no one serves you your food from your room.
Oh,
you
really?
come to the dining now. Because there's a new government on board.
Yeah.
There's a new prefect on board. So who is bringing your food? Who is washing your clothes? No one is doing that for you now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So now I was with my people. The juniors cannot do anything. The juniors still respect, but my own people, so they warned me, never step foot in Takrady. The Takrady guy said, never step foot.
You must be a very mean prefect.
Yeah, not mean, but I was doing my job. I was really doing my job. I have that heart. I punish you when things goes wrong, but I come. So I mounted a platform, I apologized to all of them. Then they understood, we come back. I just wanted lawyer, and they loved me. So till now, people used to post, say, the best prefect I've ever seen, the best leadership I've ever seen, and so on. It's part of, I sacked people, I made them sack people, but I brought them back. They never lost their schooling. That's what it is. They just have to feel the consequences.
Yeah.
So some was to the extent smoking, and that is so bad. When I see those things and then I don't take action, and some people see those school prefects saw it and never said anything. Yeah, some of them were, doing all kinds of things which wasn't good at that time. So I have to take an action so that everyone gets scared. And, I was punishing some crazy UK, I will let you weed and all kinds of stuff. I didn't see that as a punishment because I was weeding myself when I go home. So I don't know, if you weed, it's nothing. Because it was so fun. It's a leadership role. So true that I had my exams passed correctly, and then there was no money to continue. Then pressure started mounting.
There was no money to continue.
To go to the university now. I have passed my West Africa exams. Joel was 2 years ahead of me in schooling, so he has also passed, and he was staying home. He had single digit. Joel had 9, I had double digit. He was a brilliant guy. So he was home. He was doing shoemaking.
What?
Yeah. He was a cobbler. Then he came to teach class 1, trying to gather money with a single digit. He was home. And I came and joined him. So Joel hasn't gone to school. There's no way going to school. I was home. I started teaching. I started teaching at class 2. So now my students most of them have even completed secondary school. So then from class 2, 1 year, I came to teach JHS 1, 2, 3 for science, math. And then, so while Joel was doing cobbling and that stuff, so Joel was fortunate and he got scholarship from Ghana Petroleum and moved to the university. And it was there with me. There was a lot of, some people expected a lot as a school prefect, it should continue right away. So people were asking me from the school, friends, when are you going to school? They knew my result because it was broadcast in school that the school prefect did very well. I wasn't going to school. People will call and then, when are you going to school? What is happening? But
did you tell them the truth?
It was so bad for me, and then it was a very worst feeling. You cannot blame anyone.
Yeah.
My uncles played a very big role. I really love that. So Uncle James and all my Uncle Joseph, Uncle Stephen Abba, all of them. They are good, great men. They all have their responsibilities, and I respected that. But they all have kids, and they have to take them to school. But they also showed concern. Whilst I was home, I gathered money. I wasn't paying much. I was paying 120 Ghana cedi, which is like $12 here per month.
Your room? No.
My salary per month, what I was doing.
Hold on. 20 cedis.
120 Ghana cedi.
120 cedis.
That was like $12 here. Per month. Yeah, $12 per month. I saved, bought everything for my university. I went and made inquiries and know what to need for university. I bought my own laptop. So I knew someone in UK, and I said, hey, I only have 800 Ghana. I said, can you get any, rejected laptop somewhere because I'll need it in the university? Just ship it, someone can. He said, yeah, I can help you with that. And he did that. I bought everything, my bag, shoes, the little that I was saving. My uncles helped me, bought some form. But I tried several opportunities. We went for nursing interview. We got accepted. There was no money to go. We have to stop. We stopped, and then it was God's way. Whatever way, it was God's way. So 2 years' time, I was crying one day in the kitchen, and one auntie of mine, TC, came and said, John, I know your situation. Whatever it is, no, God is in control. So I then boldly went to my uncle and said, I have saved 1,800. The school fees is 2,700. I just need about 1,700 to my 1,800. I have bought everything for myself. Can you help me with that amount? I want to go to school. They were like, sure, why not? You have to go, but let me talk to one of your uncles. So Uncle James, Uncle Stephen, they related to Uncle Joe. Then they said, okay, this guy is brilliant. Let us take him. I didn't get scholarship, but I had support from my uncles who said, okay, it's not about you entering the school, but it's about how you get your fees being paid every semester. And they agreed to support. And then when I come home, I work. Sometimes we fry Gary, I go to farm with my uncles, not read something to just get up. But what I can say is that nothing deterred me from moving on. I know I wanted to go to school because what they could do is that, so I had a military form. My uncle they went and got some protocol in the military, got me a military form, go to school. I was like, no. Yeah, I love to be a military person, that's not bad. But I really want to have a degree before going to the military. Because there is a difference between you going in with your secondary school certificate and having a degree before going. So even if I want to go into the military, I thought I really want to have a degree. That is something of my heart. So I rejected the offer. I became a little bit disappointed. The community also, the community knew me. So the community also went and got me another military form. The entire community. Hey, John, you're good and we really want you. We just want to have a good military person for the community. And I turned them down too. I was like, really. One thing that I was sad about, and then I don't know how well it should be done in Ghana was, from where Ghana is getting their petroleum, that's Cape 3 Point to Princess Town, it's a walking distance. So definitely, they are getting the petroleum being sacked along Cape 3 Point, Princess Town, all the way to Axim. Mm-hmm. So we were facing this seaweeds around and a whole lot. And it's a policy that brilliant and good students around those areas should be given scholarship. I tried and I tried and I tried. Ghana never mind me, I didn't get anything like that. I tried. I showed them everything I tried, but I didn't get, but that didn't put me down. So the university too, the hall that I got, I thought, sometimes you go with a dream that, okay, let me get a nice room where I will get rich people there so that, you can. But I went and met another group of people, who were also relying on me. They were also relying on the little. So one was a fisher guy. He goes for sea. Man. So what happened is that weekends he would go get some dry fish. Then I have my gari there. Then there was some weird food that people has never. It's the people who do fishing who like it. It's called a garingo.
So you just put oil on
oil, then you mix it with the gari, then you have onion, mix with the gari, then you have your dry fish, then we eat it. We don't stew. So, we have some dry fish and we have that garingo, we are good to go. And that one motto that we have is the stomach is not transparent to see whatever is inside, then we are moving. So we dress on whatever we've eaten. That's why I didn't want to engage anyone's doctor because I had nothing on me. nothing to draw from me. Yeah, so we were eating this, and then, so this roommate, I was like, what is this? Or sometimes I so tell me about yourself, because it seems I'm a rich guy. That's funny. I was like, yeah, man, it's not easy. We are paying our fees here. And I was like, oh, man.
He would go fishing.
Yeah, weekends. He was living in Elmina. Elmina in Cape Coast wasn't that far, so weekends he just, boom, go for fishing. And there was one guy, Jackson, who wasn't that, he was good. He's now a pastor. And then there was another guy who was also living in Commander. That the mom was doing watermelon farming. And what he can bring on board is watermelon. Nothing else. And it's so sad sometimes. Like, it's really taught me a lesson that God really brings me to this, like, the same situation so that we know how to live. So because we're in the same situation, we really knew how to live. I had no pressure from anyone. We were all content with whatever we were having, and so on. The most annoying part is sometimes you cook, and when you come, there's nothing for you. They condemned it all. They will be like, sorry. It's like, what? Yeah. It was. So during my university, what happened is, one day I went to church then. One prayer was, the pastor was, after communion, he said, pray this prayer. Don't think about somebody helping you all the time. Try and pray for God to use you to help somebody. And I prayed the same prayer. God used me to help somebody, though I don't have anything. So I met, we have some celebration and all these artists come. So we have all these great artists who come on campus. We call it Hall Week. But I don't study on Friday when I was in Ghana. I don't know now. But so I don't study. Then Saturday I'll go to church. So after Saturday is the event. Mm-hmm. Because I don't study, my Saturday night I don't joke with it. So I'll go and study all night. So I don't participate in all those, I don't know, whatever artists that came or whatever, because I have to study. So I study all night and come at dawn. I go to campus because I have access to Wi-Fi. And yeah, so I was coming right after studies around 4 or 5 a.m. I had one thing in my mind because I remembered we did that Geringo the other time and we still have some reserved one with some dry fish. So that was the hope for the entire day. I was coming and I met some pickup with some nice woman and some guys in the car. And the woman stopped. Hello, gentlemen. I was like, yeah. I really want you to help me. Then he showed me some picture. Can you help me locate this guy? I was like, this university is so big. We have a lot of students and I cannot know him. What you can do is, if you can tell me some specification, then maybe I can lead him. So like, okay, he is in Pensa, he does that. Like, okay, with this information, I can help you. So I helped them. They wanted something serious from that guy. I don't want to go details about it. I think it was something that they needed. So they drove all the way from Takwa and I helped them to fund it. To them, the woman was saying she also prayed that God should let her see someone who will help them with that things. And some voice was talking to her, you will meet someone by the roadside, just set off and that person will guide you to see whatever you want. So when they dropped me off at my hall, they were offering to give me money. I said, no, I don't need your money. I don't need it. And that is something that Grandma taught me. We don't do something to get something back. You do what you do it. And he had that policy, give us never lack. And when you give something, you don't expect something. And we don't do something for somebody to give you something back. So she insisted. I didn't take it. What was in my mind is what my getting go. That last, I didn't know how much he wanted to give me. It might be a hit. So the woman said, can you give me your number? Then mobile money came to my mind. I was like, no. You want to send mobile money, I won't give you my number. Then I said, okay, can you then take my number? I said, I can take your number. So I took her number. Then when I went to my roommate who was just lying there, I started telling them the story. I met a woman, she wanted to give something, and but the woman was good. They might be a rich people. I didn't take the money. So what? They was like, what? So I went to the kitchen and said, hey, where's the guy? He goes, if that's the case, that's the reason why you didn't take the money. That's nothing. Yeah.
The guy is gone.
So really, I really stopped that day. I didn't take the money. I didn't call them too. It took a longer time than I called. I called them to check out if they've arrived safely. And they said, yeah, they have arrived. And the woman appreciated. Then the woman insisted I should come and visit her. She insisted and insisted and insisted, and one day I decided to go. So I went to Takwa, and then the woman is fucking loaded. The husband was once one of the big guys in the mines. So they had store building, awful, their conditions. You can see they were living so that they have factories. I was like, is it a company or someone? The woman was standing on top of the bed and said, hey, John, come, this is my house. He gave me a room. I was like, is that my room? I have never stayed in that room before. And the woman went and added me to the list of her children. So now if the woman dies and you ask how many kids that I'm included. So I was taking care of her company. I was paying workers. At the point, I was even paying the woman.
What?
Yeah, I was paying her monthly because I told her, hey, I'm running this business and I don't want anything to happen. You know what? I'm going to put you on payroll. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. So I put her on a payroll. I put his son on payroll. I was managing the company because at that point, the company was having a lot of debt. And when I handled the company, I paid all the debt. Everything was settled. I put her on the payroll. I told her, you are part of the program. You really... So she loved me. She loved me, and then she loved me. Every single day we talk, and she's my mom. She always go and visit grandma and visit the family. It has become a big family now. So she also played a lot of role in my schooling. So when my fees is being settled, I'll have like 1,000 Ghana cedi for chop from her. Then now what I do is, it's not for me. That money is not for me. It's for those who need it. Who I knew friends who were going through a lot. I paid friends' fees. I paid colleagues' fees. I paid colleagues. I knew colleagues who were at the verge of dropping from school. So, yeah, I paid. Joel had the same heart. So I talked to Joel and said, hey, I have 500. Fees is like 1,000. Can you support them? Like, yeah, my scholarship came and it is this. And he also support. It was also equally paying people fees for them to survive. So that money wasn't for me. When I get them, it's for people, just to help people like, hey, fine. And because of that, there was some time I was having nothing. I was with a roommate. I just spoke with him right now. He also became my roommate when I moved from there, 4 in a room. Joshua, we had nothing. And then we were contemplating what to eat because the family, his story is also kind of... and then I went out. I had only 5 cedi. And I met someone who demanded the money. She was needing it so badly. I gave it out. And when I gave it out, I called Joshua. I said, Josh, I promised to buy some beans. We have red oil. We have some gari to do something. But unfortunately, it won't happen. He was like, what? How will we survive? I said, yeah, God knows. There was some man, I know him from nowhere. He parked the car. I was like, hey, do you need some food stuff? I was like, yeah. He gave me rice, gave me a whole lot of things and money. I called Joshua. Joshua, come, I cannot carry these things. He ran from wherever he was then, came and picked the items. And so I kind of understood it better that givers indeed never lack. Like, it shouldn't be self. You are not to live like self-centered. I care about people more than I do. Though I'm from a very West family, as I told you earlier. It's not, yeah. But I look at people's situation and I just find so, because I know how it is to feel hungry, because I've been in that position. If someone tells me I'm hungry, I know how it is. I might be able to stand, but they might not. Especially, I was very careful. I wasn't having a lot of female friends, but the fewer that came, they can testify. Ladies were my priority because they can fall into a lot of things. And we had ladies who were going through a lot. A lot of ladies were going through a lot, and I just have to, the little that I have, I just have to make sure I help them out. My national service money, it was to help a lot of people. That was it. All the bases that givers never lack, and givers never lack too. So a lot of people, especially when I get to the scholarship, a lot of people do this application after school. Good people with good CGPAs, 4.0, 3.9, all kinds of stuff. But they find it difficult getting school. But it tells you that whenever you give and you have that heart, God also open way. And, things that look so challenging, you just get it so easily. And then, so one thing that I will tell people as a motivational thing is, so when Joel got scholarship, at the point in time, we happened to speak against God. Like, why me? Why us? Why are we going through this thing? So Joel was overall best student. I miss him staying home for that long, doing cobbler, me doing this teaching, trying to help each other, and then all kinds of. We sometimes go for contract. People, rubber plantation, we tell them we want to weed, then you pay us. So we weed and we get paid. Sometimes we weed and our money don't come, and so on. So when Joel got overall best student, and then he got a scholarship, that was the moment we shed tears the most. And I was like, sometimes we happen not to understand God's way and then God's plan. You stayed home 3 years, I stayed home 2 years right after secondary school, though we've passed. We had a good grace. And then before I continue with this, so there was some annoying and so funny thing. Some of the students are punished so hardly in secondary school. Happened to go to school a year before I came. And one mathematics class, I was sitting in front of the class and he was sitting at my back. And he was like, SP, are you in this class? Like, oh, no, I bypassed, no. I felt so shined. It was so bad for me, but I said, SP, that's fine. It's good. So my juniors, I went and met a lot of my juniors ahead of me, which wasn't bad. Yeah, that is something. So I was speaking, let me come back. I was speaking to Joel. We've spoken to God in so many ways, like, God, why someone would single the gate and you have to stay home 3 years or to have support because mommy was not having, and then we don't have father as well. And things were so bad. In fact, Joel's cobbler was so funny for me. Sometimes I laughed at him because mine was a little bit good. A teacher who is being paid $12 a month. $12 a month. Yeah. I spoke with him and he started crying. I was like, sometimes we don't understand God's time. Imagine right after school, secondary school, we bought an awaiting forms and we went to the university right away, like people do. There is a higher possibility that you will not be in the overall best student. There is equally a higher possibility that you will not even get scholarship to study outside. But God has times for everything. So we kind of understood God's time in the best way. That there might be delayed, that you see to be delayed, but it is something that God is preparing for you. Because I can imagine, assuming we move to the university right away, maybe I would have been here but the delay had a purpose in our life. The 3 years delayed, the covenant experience, and then the famine, weeding experience, and all that delay that we wept and cried. In fact, it was so bitter. I was having single again, but I was feeling so pain for Joel because of his. But only one thing we trusted, we never shone our godly relationship. We were that religious, and At the point that the church felt they could help. But we were in this rich church. We did so he cried, I cried, and we got to understand God's time. That you might not understand it at the very beginning, how things are going. Things might be down, things are not going well. We have people who are going through a lot, and it seems God doesn't even exist. I know friends who are like that. They're trying to get into the tertiary, they're trying to get into their PhD program, they're trying to get into something that they really want, and it seems this is not working out. Some is facing immigration issue, and they are going through a bitter agony. One thing I can say, it's God's time. When it's not God's time, you can't do it. But when it's God's time, no one can prevent it. That was the thing. So right now, when things are not going well, I just smile it because I have been through a lot of things that I've learned a lot. That in fact our ways are not God's ways. We went for nursing interview. We had school over there. So imagine we had somebody to pay for our fees. I would have been a nurse instead of being a PhD in electrical and electronics engineering. Because I have yearned to be either medicine or engineering specifically. Nursing was as a result of the delay in school, so I just had to have some plan B along the line, trying to fit. So assuming, someone said, okay, I want to help you in the nurse. And then you end up being a nurse. I'm not saying it's bad. You end up being the nurse. But now, the little delay that has seemed so long in our eye has now brought me here doing PhD. It's a privilege. A lot of people are fighting for it, Not just getting it, but getting funded, getting as a scholarship where you get it paid. It's an opportunity, and I've seen that delay that seemed to be delay in my eyes was God preparing a ground for me to come and get this opportunity. Me getting here, so honest, I got here to study materials engineering masters. But when I came here, I've been able to, through God, change it from materials engineer from the master all the way to PhD in electrical and electronics engineering. And that kind of tells me a lot about when God says yes, no one can say no, and just have to trust him. To encourage someone, it's so difficult to understand God's plan. Sometimes when you are drowning in water, people might not understand your situation, will come with a lot of motivation and a lot of words. You know what you're going through. It's not easy. It's not easy. You feel like the world is collapsing on you. You feel like that is your end. Sometimes you think suicidal. But one thing I always tell people that it takes a seed to be buried, then suffer under all weather conditions, raining, shining, winning, rot. The seed had to got rotten before it's splat out, germinate, and bear more fruit. And that's how life is. We have something we call catapult. Before it can land so high, it has to be pulled back. And when you release it, it lands so high and higher. And that's the principle. And that's some of the encouragement I tell people. You have to rot. Sometimes your rotting is you not getting a baby. Sometimes the rotting is being you not getting a job. Sometimes your rotting might be you trying some application to school and it's not working. Sometimes your rotting might be relationship issues. Sometimes your rotting might be a lot of things. I can feel your pain, it's understandable, but you need to go through that process for you to germinate and bear more fruit. It's like the gold that we see is not a gold. It has to be refined. So we take the ore, it passes through machines, get refined, and we get a pure gold. And it's so precious. Life sometimes refines us in several situations. We might come from the worst situation, worst environment, but it's a refinement process. We just have to refine for us to become the precious metal good. So I understood this thing a lot. That motivates me in every situation. So I don't mind whatever that I eat. I don't mind whatever I'm going through. I know it's just a refinement process that is going to make a difference one day. And when the difference starts, no one can stop it, no matter what it is. So I might have some bitter experience from my early age. It was so terrible. I was so young. I didn't say that one around. I was trying Gary at the age of 5, 6, and I was having an eye problem because the smoke will be entering your eyes as young as you are. And then you have to do it. You have to carry a bigger bag of Gary to some place and sell them kerosene here and there. A lot of experience. Go weed. Like you have to weed plant. And so people see, like, look at me and say, no, I don't think you're like a rich guy because looking at your stage, I was like, yeah, you have to come to Princess Town and see who John really is. Yeah, but I miss all humilities. All you just have to know who you are and humble yourself, because at the end of it all, even if you are rich, poor, whatever it is, we will all face death. And so humility was one of the key things between I and Joel. We humbled. I think the humbleness took us a little bit far. We met people that a lot of people could not meet, and we had a lot of opportunities along the line. It's a lot. It's a lot, but that's what I can tell people, to be strong. It's not easy to be strong amidst every situation. So when I was in the university, every vacation I have to go and weed. So I go with Joel. We go, we do plantation, we plant rubber, we do all kinds of work, and we find joy in it. Okay, and so I had people telling their kids, "Have you seen these two boys? They are in the university. When they come, the people were advising their kids based on." It was a terrible situation. But I had this in mind because somebody was also going through some terrible situation. There was one guy who I always speak with every day. He wanted to also study out here. He was also, after every vacation, he has to also go and work and get something. So he was rather doing concrete. And then one day he got a mortar on his eye, and now he's blind.
Oh,
one of the eye. And then so I look at all these stories from some people's angle, and no matter how bitter your story might be, somebody's also one way or the other going through a lot of things, and we should be helpful whichever situation we find ourselves. I was in need of a lot of things, but I didn't consider myself only. I considered a lot of it. Perhaps maybe I don't have soap, but I won't go to the extent of picking soap from the washroom, the bathhouse. But somebody was going to that extent. Though sometimes my toothpaste get finished and I use soap to brush my teeth sometimes, but to the extent of picking soap from the ground and other stuff, people was really going through a lot. And it shouldn't be poverty. Somebody's rich, but emotionally they are also not stable, and it's also a lot on them. Yeah, mine was kind of poverty and some emotional stuff, but this world itself, problem never dies. Even the rich people we know also have a lot of problems. So every little opportunity that we have, whichever situation, we just start to render a hand and help each other along the way. I'm not anybody yet, but I know I'll become somebody, probably somebody, sometime the president of Ghana. One day.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, I have that ambition, I have that leadership role, and then I have deep in me to serve my country in that position one day. And then I really know the kind of poverty and how it feels, and that these are my people that I target most to help them out and other stuff. One thing that I was doing in the university too is, and I still do it every end of semester, I do it while I'm here. We were gathering, I and Joel. I started with I and Joel. Our parents never know, no one knows. We gathered the blind people on campus. We saw that they were suffering, trying to locate their class, and then they feel not belonging, they are in their darkest mood. We saved money from our national service, from the letter. Then we go out with them and eat with them. We pay for all the expenses. Then now we have someone representative in Ghana, a friend of mine whom we call him to mobilize all the blind people who are in the university, take them out to a place that they've never been before. Then I call Joel. We're trying to make it like an NGO or something where people will come in and support. Then we take these people out. Then we made them have a day, a memory that they might not forget. Yeah, I was going through some bitter situation, but I was having my eyes. I was seeing. I was going through a bitter situation. My situation was so bad, but I was having legs to walk. Somebody couldn't make it to school at all because he was visually impaired. She was not having leg or something. But I had all that. Though I faced challenging my diet, we were having once a meal, so we don't have breakfast in home. When I was growing up, you eat heavy. Yeah, you eat like fufu around 2 and you sleep with it.
Once and for all?
Yeah, you have to.
You eat only once?
So the fufu, you have to eat it well. that is
No, you eat, like ever since you were a kid?
Sometimes.
Sometimes you ate only once a day?
Yeah, sometimes.
Once a day?
Yeah, sometimes I go to school with Gary in my pocket and dry coconut. And the most happy aspect is that I won't be the only one eating it. People who have even eaten fried rice and good food find appetite in my Gary and coconut and eat some. And I was happy at it. Because I eat it with joy. And that's what everyone should. Now, if you give up, you end up not good. I never gave up. You know, there was something that as a kid you'll be happy to have it. You have something we call our day. During when we were during vacation, we have party. And then every kid will go with food, your favorite food and some drink. I don't know. So my grandma, I would see how she would suffer, gather some stuff for our day. They are not now. So I wait for her to go to the farm and I eat it home. Because it looks so disgracing, like the kind of food people are sending and the kind of food you go. Sometimes she will cook the rice and go and buy beans, cooked beans from the market and put it on your rice and one egg, and that will be like a Christmas for you. And looking at the kind of food people are sending in the plate, I'll just wait for her to go and I eat the rice and everything home. I drink my Coke. Then I walk gently and I'll be first. I take my first. Then when I'm coming, I'll be singing some song, Eat and Fail. So people will eat and they will fail. And that was motivating me. Yeah, I never failed. I never got something to eat, but I didn't fail. I was first. And I'll be singing the song, Eat and Fail. You eat whatever you want to eat, but you failed. So it was a funny moment for me. But I miss all this. Like I was saying, people never got the opportunity that I got. I used to go for evangelism sometime, and we went to some village called in the Volta region. To prepare me with team, I remember that village correctly. And when I went, I was like a president. Like the people in the town were seeing me so differently. Hey, you are in the university. And the highest they can go is secondary school. The highest people who claim they are the big guys, secondary school. So seeing somebody from the university, they were like, hey, university. And we have to walk and go and fetch water. It's not a wall, it's a moving water. And you can see all this microbials, in it. People drink it, use it for cooking. And life was so tough for some people at some other side. So I miss my situation. I've seen worse things now, worse situation of some people, and that touched my heart. And that is the encouragement that I give people. I miss whatever you're going through, whatever situation. Yeah, try and run that up, because someone's situation must be worse than what you're going through. Because someone's house is behind your house. Yeah.
This has been something else. I know you've told me about your story,
Yeah.
but you didn't go this in depth.
Yeah.
And I'm really blown away. Like, there's this quote that says that if we are all supposed to bring our problems lay our problems on the table and interchange our problems.
You pick someone's problem.
you would be happy that you are having the problems that you are having.
But you even pick, let's say I don't know how to say it. Like, you be happy with what you have, but you be like, this problem, when I have it, to be the worst thing that
can ever happen.
Happen to me.
Man.
It's, that is the policy.
And then in all of this, the positive mindset, you never had, like, look down on yourself. You're not, even though you had low moments where you questioned God, but from the little that you have, you helping people, it's just mind blowing, and it's really amazing. And it's interesting that when we're about to start this, we said, "Oh, John looks like a president," and you also have an aspiration to be a president.
Yeah, it's something that I always say.
I believe you are the kind of person, and like, Africans need the type of leadership that Africa need. Somebody who is selfless and doesn't put themselves above the people, the needs of the people. And then all I can say is keep going on, keep going hard. Don't be swayed by the people around you or what people are saying. And then just keep having a good heart that you have. And then when you have a good heart, people try to abuse your kindness. People try to take you for granted. But don't let that deter you from doing the good things that you're doing. Because that shows the type of person they are. And you being good, God will always continue to bless you wherever you go. So we will end it today over here. And I will say thank you for gracing this my podcast with your presence and with your story and being transparent and sharing your story with the world. And without a shadow of a doubt, I know that a lot of people are going to be inspired and going to be transformed by your story. Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and then you subscribe. Leave your comments in this the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe. And we have so many stories in store for you. If you also have a testimony, you can DM me with your testimony. The vision is to go around the world, interviewing people, and then sharing their life story and their testimony. So hopefully I will have you on my podcast. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.